Good morning, guys. I'm super excited to welcome you here to this little recording on deliberate habits. And I know this is a controversial topic for a lot of people because it gets a little bit mixed up with atomic habits from James Clear or any other person who talks about the subconscious clues and trigger and how we actually run as human beings. So I have a little post here for you and I will attach it to the video just to make sure that you really see the value in this. And deliberate habits, we can split them up in different things. And in this post, uh, which you can obviously see. I also attached this screenshot from McKinsey and Company where they talk about the mind, the meditation, the reflection, the perspectives, and then they talk about body, the sleep, the exercise, and the nutrition, and they talk about spirit, purpose, renewal, and connection. But what I really want to talk to you about today, it's really thinking about from a bigger perspective as when it comes down to deliberate habits about a journey. Think when you start thinking about this, it's really about journey. Then it's about effort, focus, attitude towards improving your life in general. And then it's really you're as strong as your tiny daily habits and victories, and lessons pretty much that you learn from this kind of deliberate practice and effort. So you see really that deliberate practice is really tied oftentimes to high performance athletes or athletes in general who basically have a lot to practice and they want to preparing for gold medal or some Olympic games, or just how you have now here in Germany the European Championships. So you can see people are, they have practiced before, they had to go through some routine moves and they just repeat and repeat, repeat and repeat until it's the second nature. And so first thing I want to talk to you about is about what are your goals and what is your vision. And a lot of things that I picked up in my past is really based on is there enough urgency, is there enough momentum towards these goals. And that's where Tony Robbins talks about burning your boats and really focusing on things that matter. And one thing that I tend to see over and over again with colleagues, with people that I've met in my life that I admire and are successful, are different things. But one thing is the identity of an achiever, because a lot of times we tend to go through these motions, as Brandon Burchard says, and which is totally normal. But people that are high performers and people that are athletes and perhaps heroes, as I call them, are a little bit different. They're thinking differently, and the challenge is oftentimes for these guys they have defined what are the top 5 or 3 life goals. What are their maybe top 10 24 months goals, and they have this clear laser focus going after that. And I want you to really ask yourself, as we speak about this habit, where do you stand today? Where are you on the scale? Where are you going? Are you clear on your goals? Do you have the laser precision and the sniper focus? And what's the clutter in your life? And can you remove some things from your life? When we go to the second part of this, it's really about you're as good as your metrics, because one cannot improve if you don't measure. And I know when I think about earlier life, probably had another life, but earlier in my career as well, I didn't always like to look critical at my mistakes, at my faults, and that slowed me down. Because if you honest, you have to fall in love with the process of improving, and that's hard. It's really hard, the initial steps, because you will have to go through a lot of mishaps and a lot of kind of challenges with yourself. A lot of times it's about ego. It's pretty much about telling yourself, hey man, you promised you will do here something and you didn't. Or hey gal, you said you will help your friend and you didn't. So this is where having a journal will help a lot. I used to have different type of journals, 5 minute journal. I used the Brandon Burchard high performance planner for quite some years, and it's pretty much physical and you really have to write stuff down. But now I switched to his new company, which is a growth day, and I pay for it, yearly subscription. And I must say it's really cool because it gives you a lot of these things that a high performance planner gives you, plus something stuff beyond of coaches and different things. And I don't talk about it a lot because it's kind of my secret weapon, and I really have been using this for quite some time. But I just want to really encourage you, whatever app you're using. So, app like this or a journal like this keeps you grounded and keeps you focused. You have this clear momentum, you know where you're going. And oftentimes I tend to see with myself when I don't have a week structured, when I say, okay, these are the top things on my mind, my weekly finishers, or what the projects I need to move forward, I tend to kind of, jumble and mumble around and, don't really get the main stuff done. And that's where, you will need a lot of urgency, but apologies, a lot of patience as well to apologies to bring this forward, because otherwise you will really not progress if you don't have the long-term perspective. And the last piece of this video is really about distraction. One thing that I tend to see, and I just did a mistake the other day, I clicked on some application that I will get push notifications on my phone, which now happens that I get updates from news and everything, so I have to remove it. But it's very annoying and it's very tempting to click it, and often, really 99%, is some negative stuff. I tend not to read news for years and years, so I really encourage you to, especially if you're starting in the morning, to stay focused on the necessary stuff. Remove news, remove all the scrolling from social media. Keep it for lunch, or when you're sitting in the afternoon on your break, if you need to, or evening. But keep your morning sharp and focused on things that really matter. And that means also that you need to practice this, because Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn as well, Facebook is becoming a little bit cluttered, and it's nice if you know what you're looking for. And that's what I encourage you to really practice this urgency with yourself, to these deliberate habits, that you're removing some stuff or untangling them, because removing can be really harsh sometimes. Because like with smoking, my good friend, he smokes, he stopped, and then he smokes again, and now he goes to these e-cigarettes. But it's hard sometimes with things, so sometimes you need to untangle it. And I think it's BJ Fogg talks about this, if I'm not mistaken. So set challenges with yourself, practice, make sure that first you review your projects in the morning. Where are you going? What are these projects about? How are you motivated to get it done? It should juice you up to really focus on things that matter. Because when you don't have this kind of focus on things that are moving you ahead, you will really quickly quit. Assess your energy, which is every morning is different, and often dictates quality of your energy, what you ate the day before, whether you were drinking alcohol, have you slept enough hours. And there is this little post that I've seen the other day on LinkedIn, where you have showing up daily, and it means full kind of circles, and then you have 10 of these circles, and then you have what that actually means. And then you have first circle is super full, and the second circle is half full, and the third is 3/4 full, and then again the fourth one is half full, and the fifth one half full, and then again it's almost empty. So it really shows that every day is different. You will wake up with energy, and as much as you practice eating healthy and all these different things, sometimes you just gonna have days that are overloaded, and that requires a lot of your effort. So to conclude this, if you feel sluggish, make sure that you take care of yourself. Make sure that you invest in your habits. To gain momentum, you really need to focus on growth, continually improving, and serving others, because that's where I see from the experience and people I work with in the past, and helped and motivated, is really about serving others. You have to have a higher purpose, a bigger purpose, to go further in life, and it will eventually, on adventure, it will make you happier as well as a human being, because those people that lead with optimism and positivity will come further in life. Check the book from Barbara Fredrickson and practice daily gratitude. So guys, radiate health manage diseases, and lead a heroic and fit life, because that's what will improve your life quality. Until the next time, stay awesome.